Firstly, thank you, FAPSI, to giving me a chance to actually do some presentation of KL Eco-City by SP Setia. Firstly, let me just do a quick introduction of the SP Setia Berhad. SP Setia is actually the company in Malaysia. The group is actually a property development industry. SP Setia is also was ranked #1 in Edge Malaysia Top Property Award in 2020, and for the record 13 times. And SP Setia is also the only Malaysian developer to have received 13 FAPSI World Grand Prix Excellent Award by international FAPSIs and also FAPSI Malaysia Property Awards. So today I'm going to introduce KL Eco-City by Setia. As far as KL Eco-City is we actually have very honored that we actually awarded the FAPSI Malaysia Property Award in Best Office category in 2019. And subsequently, we actually have awarded with World Gold winner in the office category in 2020. As far as KL Eco-City, the design starts with a dome of the new look of a work style. It's really inspired by the past that in looking confidently to the future, experience a place where individuality celebrate together with the innovation that shared. And here you will see the work and the pieces in the new light. And KL Eco-City is actually the Malaysia one of the first premium green mixed-use and transit-oriented development that include the connectivity, commerce, live and learn, workplace, everything within a master plan within the Kuala Lumpur area. And as far as this address itself, the KL Eco-City as the precinct and the KL Eco-City is one of the office mixed use. And it was embodied with the unique two-tier road system, 6 dedicated access, the integrated LRT stations, and also dedicated with 21% of green actually. Looking at the table content, firstly, looking at the location, this is situated in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, and actually in the Bansar area within Kuala Lumpur. And this is the coordinate where you can find the KL Eco-City's location. In year 2007, you can see this area is actually a place that comes with all the 600 villages around there. But in we have a joint joint venture privatization agreement with the local councillor working on the development. We look at the place there to redevelop. In 2013, we are starting with the construction. And the next photo you will see is actually in 2019. We will see in 6 years' time, we actually get all the, most of the buildings, about 50% of the building actually built up with all the mixed-use offices, apartments, and also commercial retails, and also the bridge and also connectivities. As far as you can look at the sculpture, the sketches from the architect, when you look at it, the vision was looking at working a world-class city and within a city. The big city within a city, you create actually an integration between the city of the whole development there. This was divided into 3 parcels. Parcel 1, Parcel A is basically all the residential. Parcel B is actually a mixed use. And Parcel C is actually the part that we actually comes, the precinct where most of the office is there. About 2 million square foot of office space is going to be there. If you break into the table here, Parcel C, which is the precinct that we actually won the office category award, is 2 million square foot of office space. You have 251,000 meters square. Essentially, there's a few towers of offices embedded together with retail space below. And this development was actually anchored with the concept with 3 pillars, the main pillars. One is integration, connectivity, and sustainability. The first pillar, integration, when we're talking about integration, is about internal and external. When you talk about internal, it's a self-sustaining city that create between the connectivity with the bridge, pedestrians, and accessibility. External part is actually how you actually integrate all the vibrancy of the different elements of the components. Firstly, if you look at this, you can look at it, the integration comes with the apartments, offices, and corporate office. And the next part of the integration, you will see even you have a mosque around as a committee for the offices area. They actually connect together as an integration. Then the other part of the integration is actually how you connect with transport, with the linkages of pedestrian and also a retail space that you actually serve as an amenity to the whole development itself. The second pillar is about connectivity. Now, connectivity, there's a 3 point. First point is about integrated rail hub, that we actually have a light rail transit station, and also we built a new train station. So there's a two mode of transport, public transportation actually within the site of this project. And this will serve about 5,000 passengers a day. The second point of the connectivity will be, we actually providing a 6 dedicated incoming and outgoing ramps that actually give a better accessibility for the cars traffic to get in and out, that actually solve most of the problem of the traffic congestions. The third point from the connectivity was on the pedestrian itself. You actually have pedestrian that link between north to south, actually link from the railway to the other side of the mega mall. You have the east and west pedestrian links that you link between the pedestrian of the residential to the office and to the malls. And if you look at these sketches, you can see there's north and south, actually west, actually is linked through the pedestrian. It's walkability within itself. And the last pillar is actually about sustainability. Sustainability, every building here has achieved at least one gold certification for international or local green building rating system. You actually have United States-based leadership, which is LEED. We also have engaged with Singapore BCA Green Mark, and Malaysia itself, we also have our Green Building Index itself. As far as the green building accreditations, you're actually looking at all these 5 points: energy efficiency, indoors, environmental quality, sustainability, material resources, and water efficiency. This is the things that we're looking at actually. In terms of the architecture of the whole development itself, we started with the most important part is actually how do we work on the massing itself, because the narrow part of the whole site itself, we actually work on the massing. We actually make up the massing that we actually have a high towers intersect with the small lower buildings and also a medium size, and also with a few nodes of the hub itself and also the malls itself. You actually interconnect it so that you actually have a better circulation in terms of the view, and also you actually create a better interesting of skyline between it. So the highest tower of that is actually Corporate Office Tower 2, which is actually 41 stories. You actually have a net lettable area about 49,000 square meters. And each floor is about like 15,000 square foot itself. And this building is actually accredited with the Malaysian Green Building Index Gold. And the boutique office, the smaller boutique office, a lower floor, you actually have, it has 3 blocks. This 3 block is actually divided into a quadrum. Actually, it's divided into 4. Each part of the building itself actually have different facade itself. You can see you have a horizontal fin, you also have vertical fin to make it different. And each floor of that is actually about 4,000 square foot area. And the last tower behind it is called Strata Office Tower. You actually see that it's about 35 stories. Net lettable area was about 25,000 square meter. And each floor, you actually have about 8 units. This is actually for sale for each part of the investor or owner occupier. You can buy a unit. And this building itself, you can see that it was designed to have an exposed staircase that you can see the interlace of the features, that you can feel the difference of that. And this building is actually accredited with the LEED Gold. In terms of the interior design, the main interior design actually is at the lobby itself. Now you can look at it, Corporate Office Tower 2, we actually have about 10-meter height of office height. Actually, that's the main lobby that you actually feel the grandness of the office tower. And the boutique office itself, you also have a quite nice lobby itself. It's very luxury that you actually own it by yourself. And Strata Office actually is also a very nice office lobby that you actually enforce with the different kind of tenants reading in the site. And Corporate Office Tower 2 is actually a large grade 8 office space, 15,000 square foot. And you can look at it, the space is open out that you actually have an invisible kind of perfection that you can incorporate. And all the M&E system itself is just underfloor trunking. And a boutique office tower owned by an individual owner. And each block, especially like I say, is actually quadrum. It will divide it into 4 units. Each unit itself, you actually have 3 lifts actually serving the unit itself. And these are the unit that is only 4,000 square foot itself. And that actually a lot use it as a penthouse office for their own use. And then you can look at it, the design of the whole thing is really, really very nice. And lastly, the Strata office itself, the whole floor itself actually is 8 units. They actually have a common pantry, and these are mostly used by the small firms or startup companies. They're going to use it as more as a flexible layout that they can use it as part of the office itself. The next point I'm going to look at it is actually our landscape. Now, looking at it, you can see the whole office tower there. There's a lot of concrete jungle, but with that concrete jungle itself, we actually create a drop landscape that is different from to match into the concrete jungle itself. Actually, you're going to have a hanging greens around. You actually have a pedestrian with a nice green part that actually you can just separate between the driveway and also the work pedestrian. And you actually have a lot of mini green areas to actually shorten the space of the whole office area. And in terms of the inside the office, you also have a courtyard itself that you actually create a pocket gardens to actually give the different kind of feeling about the landscape together with the whole building itself. And these are the plants that selection that we have within the office tower itself. On top of that, we actually have a space that we already built. It's as a community service that we are building for the society. We actually built a mosque next to the office tower there. It's actually elevated on top the car park, and with that mosque around, you actually see a very nice landscape has been built up there. We actually have all the community actually can enjoy and also have a place there to be enjoy. As a sustainability feature itself, the building itself actually have been oriented to be facing west and east with a smaller facade itself. That will actually have to reduce that kind of heat absorption to the window itself. And then you have a bigger space of the surface actually is facing on the south and east, south and north, so that you don't have that kind of minimize the thermal loading that we're actually having. So that kind of facade adjustment to optimize, and also with the double glazing itself, you actually help to reduce the heat gain actually from that. At a glance, you look at the whole sustainability for that. Energy efficiency and water efficiency is there, and you are looking at solar reflective index. Actually, you are putting a different materials to actually reflect the sunlight away at the roof, so that you actually can have less heat, and then you actually can cool down lesser. And also in terms of the thermal comfort, I think all the windows, the glass, we're actually having a double glazing, and also with a low E coating that actually has seal, so you actually can reduce 70% of the radiant heat, and it actually save out the energies. And last but not least, about sustainability transportation, we have 2 modes of transportation. Public transportation will actually reduce the carbon footprint, that people don't use cars, you just use public transport to come over to the office for work. And these are the sustainability things that we provide. The solar panels, water efficiency, we actually have harvest the rainwater and also the greywater from that. You should actually save out about like 20,000 meter cube of water a year, and you actually help out to do a landscape irrigation. It has saved out a lot. And we also have actually engaged using an intelligent leaf. Now, intelligent leaf there, you actually create the system that I have now is clean drive technology. You save out 50%, use LED light, optimize the motor. But the most important is using pod technology, that you actually have a destination floor calling, that you actually will save out how to manage the system of calling the lift to your space, that actually save out a lot of energy. And on top of that, we also have semi-automated waste collection system that you actually reduce to collect and compact. And this system itself, you reduce the smell and fire hazard, and you also negate the needs for the owners and occupiers to transport the waste to the via lift that actually can go all the way. You reduce the contamination. Now that also helps out to reduce the CO2 emission. You reduce the CO2 emission because you don't have to have so many trips of garbage truck traffic going around when you actually have this. And finally, I just want to talk about is actually when we actually redevelop this area, we actually have a space, and there's a house that is actually owned by the late Abdullah Hukum, Haji Abdullah Hukum. He's one of the first settler, Malay settler and village head. This house is actually a historic house, 130 years nailless. So we actually have protect this house as a heritage. We actually remove this house exactly the same and rebuild this house as a part of heritage put on top of the mosque. That is actually to maintain the heritage, and it's part of the restore for that, for the purpose of the culture and heritage, and also for the community. And lastly, I would like to have a video to play a video, a 3-minute video for you to look at the exact what is actually KL Eco-City has been with.
KL Eco-City, a 25-acre sustainable transit-oriented development located in the heart of Kuala Lumpur's new Golden Triangle. This development is founded on 3 pillars. First pillar, integration. As an ultimate self-sustaining live, learn, work, play ecosystem, KL Eco-City features commercial offices, retail outlets, luxury residential towers, and a business-class hotel. Second pillar, connectivity. Extensive pedestrian links connect the precinct to all components of KL Eco-City, including the integrated KTM LRT rail hub, providing occupants access to Kuala Lumpur's wider public transportation network. 2-tier internal road system with 6 dedicated access ramps were built with direct connections to the Federal Highway, New Pantai Expressway, Jalan Bangsar, and Jalan Ma'ruf. Third pillar, sustainability. Every building in KL Eco-City has achieved at least 1 gold certification from international or local green building rating system. This contributes to a lower carbon footprint and creates value for owners and tenants by lowering operation costs. The precinct located at KL Eco-City Commercial and Retail Parcel comprises of 5 towers. The corporate office tower features offices with vast floor plates suited for large corporations. The boutique office blocks comprise of mid-size offices, are in a 3-block cluster that is further divided into 12 quadrants, suited to aspiring private tower owners and investors looking for lower net floor area. The strata office tower consists of compact flexi office suites, suitable for new startups or small to medium enterprises. Designed to spark interaction and informal meetings between occupants, all the precinct's tower lobbies converge on the retail podium. KL Eco-City, the visionary development of imaginatively curated commerce, retail, residential and leisure components, where live, learn, work and play are perfectly balanced.
Thank you, everyone.